ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम निधये सर्व विद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणं। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः। ऋषिभ्यो नमः। मुनिभ्यो नमः। गुरुभ्यो नमः। देवताभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। वेदव्यास सद्गुरवे नमः। वैशंपायन सद्गुरवे नमः। याज्ञवल्क्य सद्गुरवे नमः। आद्यशंकर सद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अथ श्रीकृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयोपनिषद पारायणं प्रथमा शिक्षावल्ली। Yesterday we concluded the Bhruguvalli Parayanam. Next round with same devotion, sincerity, invoking the Krupa of Shruti Mata and entire Guru Parampara. Let us continue the practice of Parayanam from Shikshavalli Prathamonuvaka. Om Shanno Mitrah Shamvarunah Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः। सहनौ यशः सहनौ ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अथा तस्संहिताया उपनिषदं व्याख्यास्यामः। पञ्चस्वधिकरणेषु अधिलोकमधिज्यौतिषमधिविद्यमधिप्रजमध्यात्मम् तामहासंहिता इत्याचक्षते। अथाधिलोकं पृथिवी पूर्वरूपं द्यौरुत्तररूपम् आकाशः सन्धिः वायुः सन्धानम् इत्यधिलोकम् अथाधिज्योतिषम् अग्निः पूर्वरूपम् आदित्य उत्तररूपम् आपः सन्धिः वैद्युतः सन्धानम् इत्यधिज्योतिषम् अथाधिविद्यम् आचार्यः पूर्वरूपम् अन्तेवास्युत्तररूपम् विद्यासन्धिः प्रवचनगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिविद्यम् अथाधिप्रजम् माता पूर्वरूपम् पितोत्तररूपम् प्रजासन्धिः प्रजननगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिप्रजम् अथाध्यात्मम् अदराहनु पूर्वरूपम् उत्तराहनुरुत्तररूपम् वाक्सन्धिः जिह्वासन्धानम् इत्यध्यात्मम् इति मामः संहिताः। य एवमेतामः संहिता व्याख्याता वेद सन्धीयते प्रजया पशुभिः ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन सुवर्गेण लोकेन यश्चन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतो अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय आवहन्ते वितन्वाना उर्वाणा चीरमात्मनः वासागंसि मम गावश्च अन्नपाने च सर्वदा ततो मे श्रियमावह लोमशां पशुभिः सह स्वाहा आमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा विमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा प्रमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा दमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा शमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा यशोजने सानि स्वाहा श्रेयान्वस्य सोऽसानि स्वाहा तन्त्वाभगप्रविशानि स्वाहा समाभगप्रविश स्वाहा तस्मिन् सहस्रशाखे निभगाहं त्वयि मृजे स्वाहा यथा प्रवतायन्ते यथा मासा अहर्जरम् एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः धातरायन्तु सर्वतः स्वाहा प्रतिवेशोऽसि प्रमाभाहि प्रमापद्यस्व ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ तैत्तिरेयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ सप्तमोऽनुभागः ॐ पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं द्यौर्दिशो वान्तरदिशाः अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यधिभूतम् अथाध्यात्मं प्राणोपानो व्यान उदानः समानः चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाक्त्वक चर्ममागः सग्गस्नावास्ति मज्जा एतदधिविधाय ऋषिरवोचत पाङ्क्तं वा इदगं सर्वं पाङ्क्तेनैव पाङ्क्तज्ञः स्पृणोतीति ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Let us salute Sri Vedavyasa Bhagavan, Sri Yajnavalkya Vaishampayana Bhagavan, Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavan, and our own Guru Parampara. Let us salute the entire Guru Parampara. Let us salute the Brahma Vidya, Shruti Mata, and all those who have brought this Jnanam up to us. In life, in general, in life spiritual also, what these 2-3 things we always have to keep in mind are: one, we must know what to achieve consciously, clearly in spirituality. Among those things to be achieved, one by one we have to achieve. What are the things to be achieved? Is the homework. This is what we discuss every day. Whether it is the health of the body conducive for sadhana, it is the energy level sufficient for the sadhana, it is the quietening of the mind for the ability of doing all sadhanas. Whichever are the things, we understand that they are essential. qualifications. In the technical language, they are called as Shamadamadi, Viveka Vairagyadi. We have to master one by one. Vaguely, if we live, nothing is done and nothing is achieved. Know what to achieve or do, keep on doing and achieving them. Point two is what? Let there be, if possible, a more substantial clarity. What? Before I live my life, uh, or in a particular targeted time, what are the stages we want to achieve? What are the place we want to reach to in our inner sadhana, spiritually looking? We want to stay where we are or we want to reach to some higher level? Again, what are the higher levels you think? It's again a homework. Is a higher level regarding the deepest meditation or the highest level regarding the total surrender in devotion or the higher level of thorough understanding about what is the goal and means. Whatever, before I leave, I must ensure that I have reached to some substantial stage. And what is that stage to be reached? I have to be careful, I have to be conscious. And gearing towards that, I do everything so that I, before leave, I am satisfied. भाई हाँ, यहाँ तक आ गए, और भी आगे तो जाना है, लेकिन यहाँ तक सोचा मैंने, देखो हो पाया. Who is else is there for us, tell me, other than our own self this way, planning, doing and achieving and feeling? Nobody is there in spiritual life. We are all alone. Guru also is externally, he teaches and leaves. We are with ourselves. We only will have to understand this thing and achieve to that. Third very important thing, more essential, more relevant, more useful is what? By any reason, for any reason, don't allow the balance of worldliness to become more heavier, tilted than that of spiritual life. मतलब व्यावहारिक संसार के पलड़े को भारी होने नहीं देना, झुक नहीं जाना उस तरफ, न झुकना है न रुकना है. हमेशा द स्पिरिचुअल वेटेज, स्पिरिचुअल heaviness is not that negative feeling, should be more ours in our life than the material worldliness. Else, what will happen? If we tilt our palda towards spiritualness, then suddenly the spirituality and towards the worldliness, the spirituality goes away. Then all our again life starts becoming only worldly. फिर whatever is done so far, पानी फेर जाता है उसमें. It remains of no use only. And it also is a conscious effort with the understanding, with the awareness that I am left alone, I am with myself, it is my freedom given to me, nobody is there to tell me or command me. Now what? Am I allowing my life to be tilted to be worldliness more? Then I am not matured. Then I am not understanding the greatness of spiritual life. I am not at all actually understood the thing properly. Clear? Never ever allow that palda to become bhari. It is a sentence said with so many things to understand in that. Again, this is also homework to you. But see to it that that is not overtaking or taking more possession of our either life or the mind or our attention और our involvement. उसका पलड़ा भारी होने नहीं देना. दिया फिर ये खत्म हो जाएगा. Slowly, slowly it will take. है ना? So far we only tasted spirituality, studied Shastra, but then we have not become a thorough sadhaka and totally established in that. Therefore, still the danger is lying and lurking so much of going away from spirituality, entering into the worldliness. How it happens? When our palda this side is bhari. That is so bhari, everybody can know it, even I can say to myself that throughout the day, what thoughts are coming in mind? More frequently, more predominantly, effortlessly. What plannings are happening me? To what I am giving more importance, more seriousness, more sincerity? what I am feeling committed for. Either we are lazy or if we are active, dynamic, all our activeness, dynamism, if we carefully observe and honestly understand and accept, most of it is worldly. For me, the worldliness is which Shastra to study, which Shastra to teach. This is my samsar. वो वाला पढ़ना भारी, उसको कम करते हुए स्पिरिचुअल पढ़ना भारी कराना है. It's all of us. If any one of you have this type of spirituality, I mean, you are so great, so lucky. Salutations to you. Congratulations to you. Wishes to you. Keep it up. But a conscious effort. And always, whether you call it as mind, whether you call it our prarabdha, whether you call it as our habits, whether you call it the world, whether you call it the timings, the Kali Yuga, kuch bhi kaho, Maya, they try to pull us towards the worldliness. Either any one of them will work, two of them will work, or many of them will work to pull us down. We have to become aware of it. That is our main point. Right from the morning we wake up till we sleep throughout the day. Yesterday, socho. So where's the raat tak? How much was my life worldly? How much was my life spiritual? There should be an improvement today, tomorrow. In that way, वहाँ का पढ़ना भारी, यहाँ का हमें कम करके इसको भारी करना है. Now, what is that which makes our again पढ़ना भारी of spirituality? Again, only one thing: how much time we are able to give for our shravanam in the class, as well as our swadhyayam at home, along with our other upasanas and mananam chintanam. On this depends that our spiritual panda is more stronger than the other one. If we go away from our regular classes, if we go away from our study, go away where? Naturally to the world. Therefore, we are only allowing that balance of the worldliness to become more heavier. We have to understand this is how unconsciously, unknowingly, we are missing the opportunities. Our intellects are not alert. Our intellects are not aware that bringing the intellect not only to the understanding level but also to the awareness level to see to it that to which direction my life is going, worldly or spiritual. This is called spiritual sadhana. And everyone will have to develop that faculty for themselves and see to it. And it is a moment by moment assessment, hour by hour assessment. In this 1 hour of my time, what did I do maximum? It is worldly or is spiritual. So too, in the half day of mine, what did I do? Or the entire day is spent, calendar has moved to next date. How much of my life has been spent for this or that? With this awareness, clarity, conviction, more and more we have to see to it that we involve in these things. Then only our balance this side increases, and if we reduce any one of them, then that time is consumed by what else is there other than worldliness. दो ही चीजें हैं ना, आध्यात्मिकता है, भौतिकता है. If you don't do adhyatmika, obviously the bhautikata will take the position of that. It can be watching TV, it can be eating excessive food, it can be sleeping, it can be studying all newspapers. What is there? It may be talking to the people even though they are not interested. और कुछ नहीं तो घूमने चलो. Everything is adding to worldliness only and neutralizing or diluting our spiritual inspirations. So therefore, this is how we have to. Now the fifth point of the day. One minute. That what can help us in doing all this? Very important thought among all what we have discussed so far is not when we leave it to ourselves. Then the only way is what? We should in our life find some altar, some greater, diviner, higher, nobler altar. One. Two, to that altar, fully, totally we have to dedicate. Only after finding the altar and dedicating ourselves to the altar, then as an offering to that altar only, all these things what we have said so far can be done. Like in life, we love someone. For the sake of that beloved, whoever it may be, we start thinking and doing the things. Thinking and doing things. Those altars many a times are our own Dehendra and sometimes it is own family members. That's how, with all sacrifices, all challenges, all the tirednesses, all exertions, relentlessly we are working for them. We are not lazy, we are working, but always working for an altar. That altar determines what work we are doing. So, in our life, when we discover an altar and dedicate to that altar our life, then all these things can be achieved. A patriotic altar is nation, therefore, for the sake of nation, he thinks, works, etc. And to you and me, what can be these 4 5 altars? The 4 altars are only one, the Parabrahma. I have to reach him. Or my own Ishta Devata, I have to offer it to him. Or our own Gurudev Maharaj, for his sake I have to do, or our own Shruti Mata. Like we are dedicated to the altar of our Shastras, you and I. That is why we are able to find time, make it convenient, gather resources, try our best to study the Shastra every day at the altar of our Shruti Mata. If that is not taken, if we don't love our Shastra, respect our Shastras, feel for those Shastra, and try to dedicate ourselves, we would have not done all these things. In the same way, some altar to which we have to emotionally hook on to, and to propitiate that altar, we have to do all these spiritual things. It can be Guru, it can be God, it can be our Shastra, it can be Paramatma. These can be the one of the four, one, two of the four, three, or all the four you can have. Only when we have that one, that what we said so far, that the maximum day of time of the day, we are able to do only spiritual things, so that our first achievement is done, that our balance, this that is more bhari than that one. Left to ourselves, without this conscious effort, without altar, the heaviness of the world, inner and outer, will go on pulling all our attention towards the worldliness only. This is what we are unknowingly victims. And very subjectively, if you contemplate, it is because of vasanas, it is because of our habits, it is because of not having substantial goal, that is because we have not thought over. These are the various reasons, inner reasons. Each one will have to find them, sort out there. That's called actually spiritual sadhana. But precisely these three, four things, if you are aware about. First thing is what? What are the things to be achieved? Note them down. Then one by one, we have to keep on achieving. Feel confident that I have achieved one or two. Like I'm confident that these two, three texts are done. Then one more can be done. One more. That was the first thought of the day. Second one was, before I leave my life, what is the stage I have to reach in spiritual life? Let us not do it in a vague manner. ये अलग अलग स्थाइयाँ हैं और there are different levels. Which level you can try and reach out? Spirituality. It can be purity of mind, it will be concentration of mind, it is a subtlety of the intellect, it is a sattva guna of the inner personality. Now, all of them are very beautiful, quotable achievements. Highest is experiencing the truth. वो इसी जन्म में अगर कर पाओगे तो नथिंग लाइक दैट आई डोंट नो हमारा तो भगवान गुरु जाने हम तो थोड़ा मन शांत हो जाए इसी में हमारा आनंद है द स्टेबिलिटी द क्वाइटनेस ऑफ द माइंड itself is my goal. उतना मिल जाए. Let all tension, worry, anxieties about who is coming to class, not coming to class, they're listening or sleeping. So jealous I am that they are sleeping. I can't. I want to come out of all this commotion. That is my achievement in this life. बस इतना काफी. बाकी फिर जन्म में देखेंगे. Like everyone can think. That was the second thought we discussed. Third one is always be aware and alert and see to it that our parla of the spirituality, the balance of our spirituality is more heavier than the worldliness. Hmm. This is more heavier. This is the third point we discussed. Fourth one we discussed was how do you achieve it? How do we achieve it? Only when we are continuously, constantly doing our Shravanam of the Shastra, Mananam of Shastra, and doing our own regular Upasanas. This is the fourth point. If this is not done, this type of balance towards spirituality will not be heavier. Other will take. So this Shravanam and this Mananam or this Svadhyayam, all this, how do we do? The fifth point was when we discover an altar and unconditionally, totally surrender. In your life, many a times you might have seen when you have unconditionally, totally surrendered to any altar, give up all laziness, give up all selfishness, you could do what is to be done there. You might have done maybe organization के साथ कहीं associate हुए, maybe for 1 month or 2 months, whatever time, but you dedicated. ऐसा मूड आया मन में कि लगे रहे सुबह से लेकर काम करते गए. कभी कभी 1 दिन का भी होता है, 5 दिन का, कोई कोई कुछ लोगों के महीनों का, सालों का. But somehow they miss that devotion to that altar. Thereafter, then all that laziness which was waiting outside, it comes and takes away. Is it not? Especially when you serve Mahat Guru. गुरु सेवा करनी है. देखा होगा आपने, गुरु महाराज आपके शहर में आए तो यू वांटेड टू सर्व एट दैट altar. गेट अप एट 4 बजे, दौड़ कर गए. ऐसा एट दैट टाइम योर लेजीनेस, स्लीपीनेस, घुटने का दर्द, सर का दर्द, ऑल अदर ऑब्लिगेशन, इसने वो कहा, उसने ये बुलाया, दे आर ऑल नॉट देयर. व्हाई? देयर इज एन altar. Is it not? An altar can be a project, it can be a person, it can be a goal. घर बनाना है. When that project was there in your life as an altar, तो सुबह 4 बजे you go before even that mestri or the contractor comes and you ensure curing is happening or not. Don't we do that? Because I want to have my own house made, so to your own company, factory you want to develop. That's an altar. So how relentlessly we worked. And those days, whenever we were less productive or creative or active, lazied, or involved in all worries, anxieties, or involved in all indulgences, please understand that day the altar was forgotten. It was not there. And many people without any dedicated altar live with so lazily the entire life. We should see from them and learn that our life should not be wasted like that. Have that altar, dedicate. My altar is Shruti Mata and entire Guru Parampara. And then ultimately, through that, the absolute goal. Very clear understanding about the goal and means, and start walking in those means to reach the goal. For that, when we continuously remember that altar and feel the dedication towards that, ये सब बोलना पड़ता है मन में, मैंने अपने आप को शास्त्रों के लिए डेडिकेट किया हूँ. Therefore, बिना शास्त्र पढ़े पढ़ाए, how can my day be wasted today? Is it not? Like that. I have dedicated to my Gurudev. So without doing that sadhana as indicated by him, how my day can be wasted? I have dedicated to the absolute truth at that altar. So did I study my Shastra deeply and did I do little of contemplation? तो इस तरह से वही कोई लविंग आल्टर होना है. हमको अभी भोग इज द आल्टर. खाओ पियो मौज करो एंजॉय करो, इसी में मजा है, ऐसा करते हैं हम मन ही मन. दैट इज हाउ. और मॉर्निंग उठते ही क्या खाऊं, क्या पीऊं, क्या सो जाऊं, यही चलता है. वेरी लोएस्ट एनिमलिस्टिक लाइफ इट इज. A little better are those who take care of the house, who take care of the profession. Little better people are who are mindful about the friends and families. Altars. Some are take up little higher depending on their talent or see the need of the nation, and they think they can contribute. Therefore, they either start or join any NGO. Through that, they do. That are all altars. They are not dedications. And the higher, greater altars are which are eternal, the cultural, the value based, the traditions, the religion. Religion means our Sanatana Dharma. These are the higher and greater altars. And the highest are these four: the Parabrahma, the Ishtadeva, the Shastra, the Sadguru. Discover it, and thus to dedicate to them, to make them pleased. Remember, those will not come and tell us कि मेरे को altar लगाओ. Is it not? They won't come. We have to do it. Did Gurudev come? Did Shruti Mata come to say, यार मेरे को altar बना ले? नहीं करते हैं कोई. वो रहते हैं. We have to make it. It is our choice. That is the only thing when we are that way choicefully convinced in our intellect as taking them as altar, that the mind can be checked. The mind can be stopped from all its unnecessary continuous suggestions, powerful suggestions of doing any nonsense of the life. That is the only way we can check. Like you have an altar of coming to the class every day at 7:30. So all other thoughts of the mind are checked at that moment. You have arrested them, postponed them, neutralized them. You come and sit in class. What a beautiful thing it is. Just look back and see the joy of that. We have dedicated our regular classes. They were उठ पाते हैं सुबह. देखो how many people not even able to get up from the bed because there is no altar. Bed is the altar. How can they leave it? But you come and sit in the class. Therefore, you are doing it. Some of you, Subha, Sam, as I was for last 2 years doing, some of you are also doing. Mahayogi, Mahagnani. Sabko Parnam. Is it not achievement? It's not an ordinary thing. Good. And there you are dedicated on whatever the thing it may be. You may be like me, or you may like the Shastras, or maybe any other thing. You something brought you here. या क्लास में आओ तो कोई काम नहीं देंगे, ये भी एक आइडिया हो सकता है. अच्छा पापा क्लास में बैठे, let us not give him any work. That's so whenever somebody gives work, come and sit in the class or take up a holy book or take a japmala. Om om om. चला गया, फिर से टीवी देखो. Don't do all that. So these are the thoughts today as introduction we wanted to see. Okay. Now coming to our wonderful Taittiriya Upanishad of this Taittiriya Aranyaka Krishna Yajurvedam, the seventh Anuvaka, we have seen in which the Pangta Upasana was exhaustively discussed. So what did that Rishi say toward the end of all his observation is the crux of this particular topic. That we will just see and then enter into the most beautiful, profound, important, another Anuvaka, another Upasana, another topic of Pranava in our 8th Anuvaka. So 7th way what is said, I just chant that Bhashyam, then I'll explain very short, we go. See, etad evam adhividhaya parikalpya. So having in this way keenly observed what is happening in the inner world and what is happening in the outer world. When he observed it, how is it happening? He questioned. Then who is doing all this? He asked like that. So the phenomena was happening outer, inside. Then who is doing? How is it happening? When he saw the Pangtam is doing, and behind the Pangtam there is some supreme power should be there, without which the coordination between the Pangtams and within the Pangtams will not happen. This is how this Rishi, his own quiet, calm mind visualized. And whoever this way visualizes, be attentive. One, the orderliness, coordination in everything that is happening inside and outside. So too, a conscious being supporting all of them from behind. When we are able to understand it, we are also are at the level of that Rishi. Whichever is the Rishi's name, it is not mentioned. Every one of us can be a Rishi. When we see the outer world and see that there are the Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adi Laukika Pangtams are there. So to inside the Vayupanktam as well as the Indriyapanktam as well as Dhatupanktam are working. Be conscious about it. And they're all, each one is doing their own work disciplinedly, coordinating with the other four members of that Panktam, and each of the Panktams are in connection with each other. And finally, what is he going to say here is what? The inner Panktam is dependent on the outer. Therefore, always the inner Panktam should be, because dependent on the other, should be dedicated to the outer, should be tuned to the outer, should be surrendered to the outer, in short, to be working for the outer Panktam. Because it is depending on that one. Then what is happening? To the inner Panktam, identifying with the Aham and Mama and living life only at that lower level, that is avoided. From that level, we transcend to the next level. That is what he says. Etad evam adhividhaya. Having in this way contemplated and understood. परिकल्प्य, परिकल्पना मतलब जो हो रहा है उसको समझकर, ऋषि ही वेदः, then the ऋषि came to know, then एतद् दर्शन संपन्नः वा कश्चित् ऋषिः. So ऋषिः वेदः, who is ऋषि here? Shruti Mata only. Having this way visualized, the Shruti Mata told us, एतद् अधिविधायः ऋषिः means वेदः. Here ऋषि means वेदः. ये सब समझकर ऋषि मतलब वेद ने हमको कहा. या ऋषि मीन्स वाट? एतद् दर्शन संपन्नः वा कश्चित् ऋषिः. Some rishi who is rich enough to have that subtlety of intellect, observing capacity of intellect, used it and he has conceived in clear words the performance of the Panktams. Some rishi, naam nahi diya. It can be. We mentioned because every rishi need not write his patent right कि मैंने डिस्कवर किया. कहीं कहीं मेंशन करते हैं, कहीं कहीं नहीं करते हैं. तो यहाँ ऋषि ने नहीं की. Other cases we have seen the rishi's name came. महाचावस्य प्रवेदयते. And also we see Rathitaraha, Paurusishtihi, then Nakaha Maudgalyaha. Those names we are going to see. So here Rishihi means Vedaha herself, or Vedamata herself, Shruti Mata, or Rishi means Kaschit Rishihi, who is this Darshana Sampannaha. The one who is rich enough, Sampanna is rich enough because of Darshana or vision of this one. That the world is not chaotic, it's not confusion, it is not just happening without rhyme or reason. No. There's a great purpose is going on happening, and to fulfill that purpose, their great coordination is happening. While coordinating, there's a great individual performance dedicating to the total is going on happening. And all of that is monitored by, is managed by some power from behind. So the attention is on the phenomena happening, attention is on the beauty of the phenomena that is happening, and the attention is on that principle, the Mahat Brahma Hiranyagarbha, in whose orders or presence or command or of supervision, these things are happening. Some Rishi who has got this Darshana Sampada, he has said so. What did he say? We are going to see. वो ऋषि ने हमको ये कहा. क्या कहा हम देखेंगे. पहले ऋषि कौन होता है समझ लें. Do we have that awareness in us all the time about the presence of Mahat Brahma coordinating the beautifully happening Panktams in the world, which put together are managing the inner and outer show of the world? Then comes question, therefore, what's my contribution? Am I spoiling that system or am I adding to the beauty of the system? Then we really become a responsible individual to contribute, not spoil. The contributor is called spiritual sadhaka. Spiritual vision makes us contributor. Non-spiritual makes us consumer. Consumers always disturb. Contributors only cooperate with the systems. Consumer is excessive consumer. What is required minimum for our life, when we take it, we are not consumers. We are just living our life. बट अदर देन दैट जिनके अंदर कंज्यूमिंग थॉट होता है, वो लोग टोटलिटी को डिस्टर्ब करने वाले ही होते. और ये सब क्यों होता है? व्हेन यू ऑब्जर्व, डोंट ऑब्जर्व दैट. So, like this Rishi, when we observe the beautiful things that are happening, then we understand our role also in that, and accordingly we do. Then we are no more consumer; we are only contributor. Like that, this observance, like that Rishi helps us. है ना, साथ ही आठ बताना एक अकेला थक जाएगा. In the same way, the world is working. How can I be lazy? That's the minimum thing. In the घर में mother is working, I must help her. If this minimum courtesy is not there, to the children or the wife is working, I must the husband, then they are very absolute useless fellows. The insensitivity is a sign of stupidity and uselessness. We have to be sensitive, then sensible. Sensitive, therefore, know what is happening, what we have to do. Then sensible, doing that thing. So, here in this way, the Rishi observed how my inner faculties are working, how I am sustaining, how I am interacting in the world outside, how the world is helping me. Then he could relate between the inner, these three panktams of the Dhatu and Indriya and Vayu, and outside the Bhuta panktam, Devata panktam and Loka panktam. क्या बढ़िया चल रहा है सब कुछ. He meditated for a long time, for many, many days. He went on contemplating. Then he found this rhyme and reason behind all these happenings. Is it itself is a great phenomena. All the scientists do this only, but they are in a form only of how to make more comforts to the human beings so that they become bhogi. पूरा साइंस सबको भोगी बनाता जाता है. More comforts, more joys. They don't do it as a yogi. That's the problem with them. They don't know it, but that's how it happens. But when we have this type of observation, everything, that how the rains are happening, it's a huge phenomena that is happening. A panktam is working behind. How the trees are growing, there is a panktam working behind it. How the seasons are coming and going, there is a panktam working behind it. Is it not? हर जगह पे बाहर अंदर हर जगह there are great forces working under the behest or guidance or command or supervision of the Mahat Brahma. When it is working, when the world is going on. Beyond that Mahat Brahma, when you go to Parabrahma, in Parabrahma, he and alone is there. There is no happening at the gross or subtle, individual or total level. वो परब्रह्म के स्थिति में. बट उससे पहले टू कम आउट ऑफ अवर ओन इंडिविजुअलिटी, अवर ओन इन्वॉल्वमेंट्स, वी शुड नो दैट वी आर नॉट ए सेपरेट इंडिविजुअल. We are a part of the total. For the sake of the total, there is individual. It is not the other way around. If this is not understood, that I, the individual, am for the total, then as we said yesterday, if you remember, then at the cost of total, I misbehave for my individuality. That is called as samsara. Aham mama is samsara. Individuality and selfishness in English. When do we do that? When we don't understand that we are not important than the total. Total is important. For the sake of total, I am there. Not the total is for me. Repeat karo is thought ko 4 बार. I am there the photo for total. Total is not for me. I am there for total. Total is not for me. I am there for the total. Total is not for me. I am there for total. Total is not for me. In that way, in this attitude, when I take care of the total, then the total takes care of me. That is obvious. Yogakshamam vahamyam. But if the other way around, myself is for myself, the world also is myself, the things and beings are for myself, then I am got trapped in the imaginations of the world, not the wisdom of the intellect. Then the trap of the mana, remember, he finds alternatives in the traps only. It never makes us come out of the trap. What the trap of the mind? Bhoga. After which, one after the other, we change the bhoga according to our age or places, but we don't come out of the bhoga pravritti. All that put together is living as jiva with the deha tadatmya, technically called as the samsari, subjected to birth and death in different lives because of so many wrong karma, पुण्य पाप के कारण. ये गिरा हुआ जीवन है. तो उठने वाला जीवन क्या है? I am for the total. Then keep on thinking for total, working for total. Total takes care of us in the beginning. Later on, we merge in the total. When we are in total, please remember there are no problems. In total, समस्या नहीं होता because in total, all two things become balanced. समष्टि में पेयर ऑफ ऑपोजिट बैलेंस हो जाते हैं, व्यष्टि में ही पेयर ऑफ ऑपोजिट इफेक्ट करते हैं. ऑल दिस चेंजेस विल बी सीन. So this rishi has discovered, having discovered that avochat, he spoke. What did he say? वेदः एतद्दर्शनसम्पन्नः कश्चिद् ऋषिः अवोचत उक्तवान्. So having seen this, the Shruti Mata told us, or having seen this, Kaschid Rishi, some Rishi who has seen it, he told us. What did he say? Kim? What did he said? Ityaha. This is what he said. Panktam vai idam sarvam. He said, everything which is other than the self, aham, pure self, everything which is perceived as idam, inside and outside, all of that is panktam. Panktam vai idam sarvam. Now it's a very sublime thought. I am not lifting you to those levels of contemplations right now. Baad mein. Everything is panktam, means other than the pure self. The moment you come to the imaginary projected world of relativity, there suddenly the dvaitas come, they get multiplied, they coordinate with each other, then continue the show of the cinema. Like on the stage when nobody came, only the light was there illuminating the empty stage. That's called the aham sthiti. The moment the artists come onto the stage, idam, then there is pankta. Is it not? Somebody playing the background music, somebody delivering the dialogues, and somebody is acting there. Some are watching that, some are seeing that the show goes on well as coordinators. The whole show is pankta. Anything when I am there with myself, I am with myself. The moment any work I conceive, any goal I consider of the world, immediately my inner and outer panktams are created, imagined, and the work goes on. This is what is a very subtle way of looking at. In self, self alone, anything other than the self called is idamma, in that immediately the panktam comes. Panktam means set of mutually related things. Set of mutually related things trying to do something other than the self in the universe. So, panktam vai idagam sarvam, idam sarvam, idam word is important. In the pure aham, there is no panktam. Other than the aham, whether it is inside or outside, there are all panktams only. So, panktam vai idam sarvam. Then, now next sentence is important. Panktena eva adhyatmikena संख्या सामान्यात पांक्तम बाह्यम स्पृणोति बलयति पूरयति. With the adhyatmika pankta, the adibhauktika pankta is purayati balayati. See the beauty here. We said yesterday also. In fact, because of the adibhautika pankta, the adhyatmika panktas are there. Therefore, for the adhyatmika pankta to stay sustained, the adibhautika pankta's blessing is required. Cooperation is required. Help is required. How do you do that? When these adhyatmika panktas reciprocate in having the vision to serve the adibhautika external total panktams. That is the meaning of purayati balayati. This is in our hands. So adhyatmikena panktena bahya panktam balayati. This is what he said. Panktam bahyam sprunoti means balayati means purayati. How do you do that? Ekatmataya upalabhyate. It's a very sublime thought. When I maintain my inner panktam only for my sake, not carrying the outer panktam, neglecting the outer panktam, what will happen? Slowly the outer panktam, the totality, outer panktam is totality, inner panktam is individuality, stops contributing to us, stops helping us, और देखते देखते our own आध्यात्मिका inner panktam starts falling down, start dissolving, start decaying, start becoming, let us say, miserable or falling down. On the other hand, see the other way. When the Adhyatmika Panktam is Purayati and Balayati, the Bahya Panktam continuously. Two things happen. One is the supply of all the things required. for the Adhyatmika Pankta are done by the Adibhautika Pankta. Secondly, at a highest level, that is what is said toward the end, Ekatmataya Upalabhate iti, the oneness between the inner and outer Panktams are discovered. They are not separate. Once we discover that way our oneness with the total, this individuality is not a problem. Problem is individuality. Yesterday I told you, I have a problem is a vyavaharik way of saying, but in spirituality it is said as I am a problem. I am a problem. The I small with its own individual panktams is a problem to itself. The day we discover it, no, we are really blessed by the Guru. Our Shastra, Shruti Mata has blessed us that day. I myself am problem to myself, not allowing myself to realize my real self. थोड़ा time लगता है. Thoda it looks to be little confusing in the beginning, but when you keep on contemplating, one day we will know. So, what did he say therefore? Panktena eva adhyatmikena sankhya samanyat panktam bahyam sprunoti or balayati or purayati means ekatmataya upalabhate iti. Therefore, only in ekatmata with the bahya pankta, there is a sustenance value to the adhyatmika pankta. When the Adhyatmika Pankta is only looking at itself without considering the Bhautika Pankta, then the Adhyatmika Pankta also will lose all its charm and beauty. It becomes redundant. Like, for example, Adi Bhautika Pankta is the entire traffic on the road. Adhyatmika is my own vehicle, my own journey. Now, should I take into account the entire traffic and the traffic rules while driving, or Jaisa Chai Mais Jaun? With my own way of speed and turns and all that. It cannot be done. I will hit somebody, I will suffer, he will suffer. Wrong route में आया अंदर कर दो चालान मारो. This is what is called as not carrying the Adibhautika Panktam and living only for one's own personal Adhyatmika Panktam. But do the other way around. Conscious about total traffic in your own interest. Is it not? And follow all the rules. Then such a wonderful is your journey. And unknowingly, because of your disciplined travel, you are helping others also to travel in their own way beautifully. Like unknowingly, when I am erratic without caring whom I am troubling, I will not know. But somebody is troubled. Suddenly speed बढ़ाया मैं. वो डर जाते हो बंदा जिस देख रहा है साइड में, and you overtook me in a wrong direction. He is confused. कैसे साइड दूं मैं करके. You observe in the world, most of the accidents happen because of such funny things. People are erratic, not concerned about total traffic. In life also, when the total is not concerned, every individual looking only for himself, continuous accidents happen. Is it not? The whole continent should look for the universe. Whole nation, every nation should look for the continents. Then every state should work for the nation. So too every town should work for the state. Every individual should work for his own town. That vision is called spirituality. Nothing is lost except the feeling that aham mama, unnecessary, which was giving all trouble. In the other way, what we can say? The aham mama, instead of cocooned with only one, same aham mama is identified with the total. Aham mama wahi rahega. Instead of kosha deha or personal pankta, the aham mama is identified with the total. Then you are joyful, wonderful with total. ये हमको क्लिक होना चाहिए. I remain as I. Mine remains as mine. But what is the content in that I and mine? If that is only this one, then I am suffering. If that I and mine embraces the entire universe, the joy is different. Your outlook is different totally. मजा रहता है उस जिंदगी. Entire forests are mine. When you say, you don't spoil that. You say एक खेती मेरा है वो मेरा नहीं है. Then you take over your खेती, but उसको कुछ भी हो जाए, you don't worry. An animal comes, animals to eat that, you send them to that खेती because that is not mine. चाहे उसको कुछ भी हो जाए. वो भी ऐसा ही करेगा, तो दोनों खेती खराब. Do you understand how we destroy ourselves by trying to destroy others? Other is totality. This is a question of understanding, question of vision. Everything is individual in this world, but not isolated. Every individual is scattered by the total and is supposed to work for the total. The total is Mahat Brahma here. So that Rishi in this way said, Etad evam panktam idam sarvam iti yo vedaha. In this way, the one who knows that the inner panktam should work for the outer panktams, the outer panktam should work for the totality, and totality, the Mahat Brahma is managing the total world, outer and inner. The one who knows like this, such person, yo veda saha prajapati atma eva bhavati tyartaha. He becomes one with the Prajapati. He becomes one with the Hiranyagarbha. He becomes one with the Mahatattva because his vision is that height. Every department, I say, Kini, I as a soldier manage only myself, remain as soldier. When I start becoming responsible for the 10-20 people, I am given a little commanding position. जो भी वहाँ ranks होते हैं. Then the more I am able to do that, bigger post is given to me. She's not the councillor, looks only at the council. But as MLA, that whole assembly constituency, MP है तो he'll take care of more things. If the chief minister, पूरा state हाथ में है उनका. If the prime minister, पूरा nation. You can see that individual remaining same, but his identity with the whole nation, then he became PM. The whole state has become CM, whole district you have collector. It's become a क्या कहते हैं सब गांव का एक मुखिया बने, पूरे गांव का उनका दृष्टि. Is it not? It's only changed unnecessarily out of stupidity and foolishness. All the education system today, in the education at home, etc., is you individual associated, individual oriented हो रहा है. No, a wrong education है. We cannot survive like that. Taking care only of and देखो मजेदार बात. The country, world is becoming very small because of all the technical scientific discoveries. It's very cocooned now, not as vast and expanded or spread like earlier. इतना दिन दुनिया इतना छोटा हो गया. हाँ, जब दुनिया बड़ा है तब आइसोलेट होने का चलता था. अब when the world is becoming smaller, you have to become together and then work together. What is happening? World is becoming small, but the people are becoming separated from each other with extreme selfishness. This is what causing harm to the total world, and only human beings are doing that. You should think everything taking the total into consideration. तभी होएगा वो. Whoever are fighting for the individualization, they are only spoiling the total and themselves. Individual is important, not at the cost of total. इतना समझ लो. हो गया. Now, this is how the Pankta Upasana is taught to us. Mahat Brahma through the Panktams managing inner and outer, and I with my inner Panktam should serve the outer Panktam to propitiate the Mahat Brahma. When it is done for many, many lives, I get such a promotion that with that Prajapati Atma, I become one. That is the Falashruti of this Pankta Upasana at its highest level. And this is also Upasana. Clear? Now, in the sequence of the Upasanas, almost the last one will be is Ashtama Anuvakam. And it is the highest of all the Upasanas, greatest of all the Upasanas, most traditional, very ancient, authenticated straight away by this Upanishads only. Almost every Upanishad except few, they touch about this topic. That is Pranava Upasana. So the Shanno Mitraha, it was the Devata Upasana. Shiksham Vyakyasyamaha, it is Bhasha and Vyakarana Upasana. Then Samhitaya Upanishadam, that is that Vyakarana Sandhi rule ka upyog karna wala Upasana. Then Yaschandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha, their Omkara Upasana for what? For the sake of Medha. Then Avahanti Vidanvana, again is Yajna done to the Omkara Bhagavan, asking to give the wealth so that we do all the karma ityadi to clear all our upata durita. Everything is upasana. You remember all of that? Then in the fifth one, we are told about the inner upasanas of Om Bhurvo Soraitiva Etaha Tisraha Vyahrutayaha. Connection with that fifth Vyahuti was the next one, in which the Dahara Akasha Sthita Jiva Upasana, Jiva Rupa Mahat Brahma Upasana. Mahat Brahma only is as Jiva in our heart. This Jiva brought out of this Deha and made to merge in the Mahat Brahma through the Yoga Prakriya, intermediate stages were Agni, Vayu, Aditya, Tadatmya. That was taught to us in the sixth Anuvaka. That is Upasana. Upasana is what yesterday half an hour we explained. Understanding the theme and applying our total personality to fit ourselves to that level. That conscious remembrance, conscious effort to reach is called as Upasana. And avoiding anything which is exclusive, which is separate, which is other than this one. तो शास्त्रोक्त एक लक्ष्य के प्रति सारा दिल दिमाग लगाकर मेहनत करते हुए वहां पहुंचना या उसको कर पाना, दूसरे चीजों को मौका नहीं देते हुए, इट इज कॉल्ड उपासना. लाइक यू आर इन द क्लास, only listening to the class, not distracting your mind for any reason, that is called as your upasana to the class, in the class, upasana of the class, like that. So after that sixth anuvaka, we have seen सयेशोन्तर हृदय आकाश तस्मिन्नयम पुरुषो मनोमय. देखो इस सबको सॉर्ट आउट करके अपने लक्ष्य बनाकर ये सब करना होता है. That is called sadhana. In this next life, after all this theory gained, we take up whatever the notes we wrote, we write in this life, अपने साथ अगले जन्म में ले जाएंगे. There only our life is a laboratory. We are experimenting persons. We are going on experimenting with whatever the convictions, knowledges we gained. एक जिंदगी पूरे दुनिया से अलग हटकर अपने आप के साथ रहकर इन सब साधनाएं करें, तभी अनुभव आएगा. Everybody did like that, without going away from the world, without becoming introverted, without thoroughly understanding all these sadhanas and systematically done for sufficient time. The illumination inside that Aham Brahmasmi will not happen. सो सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकम शरणम व्रज, आज नहीं तो कभी करना ही पड़ेगा जिनको भगवान को पाना है. One day or the other we have to do it. Before that, in this very life also, little by little whatever we can get convinced of, करते जाएंगे तो it gives a habit to us. So remember, all what we are doing are the habits which are going to decide our future, whether they are good or they are bad. Good habits of studying Shastra, good habits of contemplating on the truth, good habits of willingness to do the Adhyatmic sadhana. These we are all developing through our daily meeting and interaction. And when it is sustainingly done and made as nature, then that's what will effortlessly be done by us. Okay, in this way, having done the sixth one, the seventh panktam or seventh upasana was pankta upasana. Samples only they are. Many panktams you have to discover, and the glory of their contribution and contribution of individual species in every panktam, and all of them are serving the total. Remember, yesterday we said that thought, if that is not repeated today, the subject remains incomplete. The same thought we said in the evening class also, if you remember, Bhagavat Ramayana. As we go on saying that all the panktams are working for the total Mahat Brahma, but from that side, if you see, Mahat Brahma himself taking the roles of these panktams and managing the entire world. This is the ultimate Vedanta. अल्टीमेट वेदांत में ध्यान से सुनना, स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण जो भी जिस किसी भी रूप में है, वो हिरण्यगर्भ महत ब्रह्म ही himself, he alone is. So entire Bhumi, Prithvi Mata is Hiranyagarbha only. Entire Vayu Mandala, whatever the gross objects are there, the Prana Shaktis are there, the mind intellect Upadhis are there, in that the Chidabhasas are there, and all the Jnanams that are there. सब महत ब्रह्म ही इतने रूप में है. That's what I told you yesterday. Example of one backdrop only. Everything, the hero or villain, their dresses, their ornament, their words, their action, their emotion, their successes, their failures, their sukha and their dukha, सारा एक ही स्क्रीन पे है. दैट इज द माया शक्ति का महिमा है. इतने कॉन्ट्राडिक्टिंगली डिफरेंट दिखने वाले रूपों में वो दिख रहा है. सी कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. वन स्क्रीन ओनली, a portion appearing as hero, a portion appearing as villain. At one time it is a humorous scenery, another time it is a tragedy. One screen only. Don't you see that? In the same way, one Mahat Brahma only playing all this. In Parabrahma, all of them are not there. Up to Mahat Brahma only we can talk about Srishti. Behind, beyond, there is no Srishti. Only Parabrahma is there. Okay? That Parabrahma through Maya as Ishvara and Mahat Brahma, then the Srishti begins. Okay? Now, this Pankta Upasana is to be regularly remembered and kept on doing. अब आएगा द नेक्स्ट 8th one, द प्रणव उपासना. What is that? Introductory Bhashyam and the main mantra and its meaning and its Bhashya. Today, tomorrow, 2-3 days, we will spend and try to understand as we try to understand the other Anuvakas. We could try do 0.05% और भी दिल दिमाग लगाओ और स्पष्टता आएगा समझने में, कहने में, सुनने में. Now, iti saptamo anuvakaha. In this way, pankta upasana yukta saptama anuvaka is over. Atha ashtamaha anuvakaha. Now the 8th anuvaka is starting. Avatarika. What is avatarika? What is the introduction? What is the opening ceremony? Avatarika. Avatar kar raha hai idhar. Avatarika bhashya. Sambandha bhashya it's called. Anubandha bhashya it's called. Avatarika it is called. He says, see, very simple. शंकर भगवान इस उपनिषद में जो मजेदार बात की ना, he went on summarizing what was done so far in the earlier Anuvakas. In one line, one word, but just reminding us, कि ये किया है आपने. And the whole total Upanishad is guiding us through Upasana, through purification, through the understanding of the subtle, finally the absolute truth. Absolute truth को उपासनाओं के माध्यम से ये उपनिषद हमें इवॉल्व करा रहा है. उसके भाष्य लिखने वाले उनके शंकर भगवान जो है, हमको संबंध भाष्य में समराइज करते हुए आगे ले जाते. What he says, व्याहृति आत्मनः ब्रह्मणः upasanam uktam. Never forget that when the Vyahruti Upasana was told, through that Vyahruti Upasana, whose Upasana you are doing? किनका आप वर्शिप कर रहे थे? महत ब्रह्म ओनली. Mahaiti Brahmani. That was the ultimate. Reaching to Brahma, Mahat Brahma was the goal there. In the Vyahruti Upasana. Although so many lower level of Vyahrutis were told. Do you remember all the Vyahrutis? Bhurbhuva Suvriti, these are the Vyahruti. They were all seen, experienced. The substratum behind them, the fourth, was not seen by anyone. Only Mahachamasya saw it was, he called it as Maha. On his higher inquiry, he found it to be the Brahma of the Upanishads and the liberating Atma. Okay, now with the basis of these three Vyahruti and fourth Vyahruti, he went on observing and discovering the other sets of 4 Bhurbhusura Vyahrutis and Mahavyahruti. Bhuriti va ayam lokaha, Bhurityantariksam, Suvaritya lokaha, Mahiti Aditya. Then why this Bhurbhusva and Maha? Because Maha is permeating Bhurbhusvaha, therefore Maha is the Brahma of Bhurbhusvaha, therefore Maha is the Atma. Here the Maha is Aditya, therefore Adityena Vava Sarve Loka Mahiyante, Annena Vava Sarve Pranaha Mahiyante, Brahmana Vava Sarve Vedaha Mahiyante, चंद्रमसा वाव सर्वाणी ज्योतिगमसी महीयन्ते. याद है? कभी हमने देखा है. स्वामी जी हम सब भूल जाते हैं. अब भूलते हो, मैं क्या करूं? दैट इज व्हाई आई सेड, यहाँ का पढ़ना भारी है तो ये याद रहेगा, वहां का पढ़ना भारी है तो वो याद आएगा. वो कौन करेगा उसके लिए? आपके लिए बताओ. I can't help it. No, you can't help me. Are you helping me? No, I am trying my best. You help yourself. If it can be helped by anyone, it would have been done. That I must remember all story Upanishad. How can you do it without you putting effort? There are one or two in you, little bit trying to be tuning to the Upanishads. Not all. All are just listening and going. बट एक दो लोग थोड़ा उनका प्रेम बढ़ रहा है, उपनिषद का ज्ञान पाना है. कुछ लोग तो मेरे आत्म शांति के लिए आ रहे हैं, वो भी है. दैट इज वेरी गुड. Okay. Remember that was said. So he says Vyahrutyatmanah Brahmanah Upasanam Uktam. So that is the whole world was permeated by the Vyahrutis. And through Vyahrutis, who was managing the world? Brahma only. Then who is the Brahma? Brahma is not Parabrahma. Mahat Brahma is the Atma of the all Vyahrutis. We are familiar only with the Vyahrutis because they are visual, seeable. So through the seeable Vyahruti, we have recognized the presence of Mahat Brahma behind all of them. That has become the Upasana of the Brahma through the Vyahruti, who is the Atma of the Vyahrutis. Vyahruti Atmanah Brahmanah Upasanam Uktam. व्यावृत्तियों के आत्मा रूपी ब्रह्म का व्यावृत्तियों के द्वारा उपासना कहा गया, हमने किया. And all that is only observation, all that is only understanding, all that is only acceptance. And after that, whatever at our level we could do, we have done, not to disturb the role of the Vyavritis and Mahat Brahma managing in the world show. इतना ही हमको करना. So Vyavritatmana Brahma Upasana Muktam. After that, Anantaram cha, in the latest version, latest technique, Pankta Swarupena, through the Pankta Swarupa, Taseva Brahmana Upasana Muktam. Through the Panktam also of the same Brahma, Upasana is said. So summary. What is summary therefore? Through the Vyahruti Upasana, through Pankta Upasana, our attention should be toward that Mahat Brahma. What is the idea of Mahat Brahma? It is the one total working in and through the entire individual. So that individualities are not over importance given, whether it is our individuality or other. Because the individuality is the one who creates chaos to himself and the world. That is called as samsara and papa. अपने लिए संसार, समष्टि के लिए पाप हम करते हैं. Because of vision of individual. Therefore, shifting attention from individual and focusing on total is called as Brahma Upasana. इसको पक्का बना लेना दिल में, जिंदगी में कभी नहीं बोलना बस. So in this way, Vyahrutatma Brahmana Upasana Uktam Anantaram cha Pankti Swarupena Tasyeva Upasana Muktam. Of that only Upasana told. Now what are you teaching, sir? In the eighth one, Idani Ab. कि सर्व उपासना अंगभूतस्य ओंकारस्य उपासनम विधित्स्यते. Now the upasana of the Omkara is given as vidhi. Now given as vidhi means what? For the one who wants to reach to the goal. कोई भी गोल पाना चाहते हैं, फिर उनके लिए कोई विधि विधान होता है. Like I want to satiate my hunger is the goal. Then there is a vidhi of cooking the food, eating the food. Cooking and eating food is not a vidhi for a person who is not hungry. Therefore, Shastras vidhi are two types. One way of Shastras vidhi vidhana giving is the totality is not disturbed by individual. Second way, why the Shastra indicates the vidhi is for you and I, if you want to reach to a goal, to reach to that goal, these are the things to be done. Naturally, to be done means vidhi. So, यहाँ ओंकार उपासना का विधि दिया जा रहा है. विधि also means पद्धति or technique. Vidhi also means the duty. Nisheda means that should not be done. So Omkara Upasana becomes a vidhi if you take it as a vidhi, or means if your goal again is to reach not only Mahat Brahma here in this case, Parabrahma also. So the Om is the only one which helps us in recognizing Mahat Brahma and Parabrahma. All that we are going to study step by step. Here the first thought we are understanding is Idanim, now ओंकार उपासना विधित्स्यते. ओंकार का उपासना विधि के रूप में दिया जा रहा है. विधि के रूप में हमें स्वीकार करना है. नथिंग इज विधि इफ यू डोंट एक्सेप्ट. and we know and we accept, then things become vidhi. Then the one who does vidhi purvaka, he only achieves the goal. Anything like, and that ability is given to mind, human intellect. Human intellect can conceive the goal, human intellect can understand the means for it, human intellect can make those means as vidhi to follow, and human intellect by following so can reach to that goal. In the two levels of our goal are coming out of individual upadhi and reaching to Parabrahma. The first one is achieved by surrendering our individuality at the total level. The second one is achieved by, after reaching there, contemplation on the truth which will be taught to us second valli में. सो ओंकार का उपासना विधि के रूप में दिया जा रहा है, पहले इसको पकड़ो. Then what is the महिमा of the ओंकार and all? सर्व उपासना अंगभूतस्य ओंकारस्य. ओंकार is such a, here is not the anga angi relation मत लाना यहाँ. All upasanas are anangi and Ongara is an anga. ऐसा नहीं. Here the meaning of anga is not that sense. Here the anga means the inevitable part and parcel. That's so in every upasana, as per our Sanatana Dharma, when we do, हर एक उपासना में ओम तो होना ही चाहिए. Is it not? Even प्राणायाम करो तो ओम का ही करने को कहते हैं. योग साधना में भी ओम के ऊपर ध्यान करने को कहते हैं. And every upasana, whatever we do, without Om, it will not be. Like the japa we do, without the Om, can we do the japa? Om और रमा ऐड करना पड़ेगा ना, तभी उस जप का कंप्लीटनेस होता है. राम 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 करते रहो, वो भी एक तरीका है, but that is not greater than Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. Pranamamu and Pranavamu, when these two are joined, then only the Namam becomes complete and purposeful. नारायणायेति मंत्रम सप्रणवम प्रणाम सहितम प्रावर्तयध्वम मोह. You understood? So to do the puja, without the Om, can the puja be done? Without the Om, Vedanta study, can it be done? Nothing is there in our Sanatana Dharma without the Omkara's involvement. गृह प्रवेश भी करना है तो ओम ही लिखते हैं. बच्चों से अक्षराभ्यास कराते हैं तो ओम ही लिखते हैं. ओम नमः शिवाय, शिवाय नमः ओम. So that is the meaning of Sarva Upasana Angabhuta Om. Like in your family, there are some functions happening in a day. There are few people whom you certainly definitely invite. They are called Angabhuta. Because उनके बिना वो पूरा होता नहीं. It can be your grandfather or elderly person of the family. बिना उनके होता नहीं. In the same way, when you have to get the work done, you may have 10 servants. But one servant is a must in all the works. He is called Angabhuta. The meaning of Angabhuta I am saying. So सर्व उपासनाओं का अति मुख्य अंग है ओंकार. उसका उपासना आपको अभी बताया जा रहा है. सर्व उपासना अंगभूतस्य ओंकारस्य उपासनम इदानीम विदिच्यते. Now it is being taught to you. You are lucky. Then the beautiful thing, I'll just chant it. Tomorrow I'll explain. If I start it, it will become 10-20 minutes. तो उतना टाइम नहीं है. सिर्फ ये अवतारिका भाष्य कंप्लीट करने के एक फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए आई एम डूइंग द चैंटिंग. एक्सप्लेनेशन टुमारो. परापर ब्रह्म दृष्ट्या ही उपास्यमानः ओंकारः शब्दमात्रः अपि पर अपर प्राप्ति साधनं भवति. सह हि आलम्बनं ब्रह्मणः परस्य अपरस्य च प्रतिमा इव विष्णोः. एतेन एव आयतनेन एकतरम् अनुएति इति श्रुतेः. As simple and as complete and as sweet this bhashya is there, this particular Anubandha bhashya, we can't see it everywhere. So beautiful it is. Now the mantra, then the bhashya. So in the 8th Anuvakam, in continuation of what we done in 7 Anuvakas, the upasana is done with the help of Omkara. ओम उपासना हमको बता है. ओम के माध्यम से महत ब्रह्म का उपासना. एंड ओम अगेन इज द उपासना माध्यमम नॉट ओनली फॉर महत ब्रह्म बट आल्सो फॉर पर ब्रह्म. दैट वी हैव एग्जॉस्टिवली सीन आवर मांडुक्य उपनिषद. ओके, तो क्या है वो कल देखेंगे. चैंटिंग तो एक बार हम जरूर करेंगे. वी एंजॉय अवर चैंटिंग because of the chantings only. Some familiarity with the mantras are there that we are able to discuss it. नहीं तो कोई कोई कमेंट्री कुछ पढ़ के बोलते जाओ तो पूरा दिमाग में बैठता नहीं बोलने वाले को ही. When I myself don't understand, how can I teach you? ओमिति ब्रह्म ओमितीदगं सर्वम् ओमित्येतदनुकृत्य स्म वा अप्यो श्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ति ओमिति सामानि गायन्ते ओगं सोमिति शस्त्राणि जगंसन्ते ओमित्यध्वर्युप्रतिगरं प्रतिगृह्णाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानीति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति. In the first two lines, the greatness of the reality about the Om is explained. In the entire mantra, the greatness of the Om is said. While saying the greatness of the Om itself, directly and indirectly, Upasana of the Om also is indicated. The reality of the Om, then the greatness of the Om, therefore that greatness itself becomes the Upasana of the Omkara. And we'll spend 2 days thoroughly we try to understand. And whatever आगे पीछे वाला हमने समझे नहीं समझे पढ़े ना पढ़े करे ना करे ये वाला मेरे दृष्टि से हम सबके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है. और एक बार वी आर रिमाइंडेड टू टेक ओंकार प्रणव एज द आलम्बन ऑफ आवर्स फॉर द लॉर्ड हियर एंड हियर आफ्टर और द हायर. तो प्रणव का हमें इस अनुवाक के द्वारा उपासना आलम के रूप में निश्चय पूर्वकता से ले सकते हैं. बिकॉज व्हाट वाज सेड सो फार यू मे और मे नॉट रिमेंबर. पांगत किसको याद रहेगा? अंतरात्मा याद ही नहीं. व्याहृति क्या बोलते हैं? यशंदसाम आई डोंट रिमेंबर. देन संहिता उपनिषद आता ही नहीं. व्हाट अबाउट शिक्षा में आख्या से इट्स अ शिक्षा ओनली टू मी पनिशमेंट. सो ऑल ऑफ देम अपीयर टू बी डिफिकल्ट बट ओंकार कैन बी accepted to be easy, therefore can be taken for committed practice. That is why toward the end that upasana is given. And the time, old time mein, all these sadhakas, rishis, what they do whole day, they have no other business. They are not involved in all unwanted nonsense. Throughout the day and life, they are in one or the other upasana, through that one with the samashti and go beyond the samashti to discover the truth. उन सबका यही गोल होता था. They are not busy in finding some scientific truths, finding some of the worldly things and developing the comforts of the human. ये सब फिरा हुआ दिमाग किसी को था नहीं वहाँ. They were only contemplating on Mahat Brahma and surrendering to them his individuality, then discovering Parabrahma which is beyond individual and total. That was their attention. कुछ न कुछ उपासनाओं में ही हमेशा उपासना स्वाध्याय ध्यान उपासना स्वाध्याय ध्यान. Other than that, their mind intellects were not so disturbed, agitated to have thousands of sankalpa. Nor the world also was not made like today so funny by other co-living people. आजकल हम खुद बचना भी चाहते हैं तो नहीं बच सकते क्योंकि जाकर देखो आंख खोल के दुनिया को. द होल वर्ल्ड इज सो अट्रैक्टिव, सो टेम्पटिंग, सो ब्यूटीफुल. अंदर आता है. In those days they know if we make the world beautiful then it becomes attractive, then we open the eyes and get caught up in the world. We have to close the eye and realize the self inside. Therefore they never created anything great even if they could. All of that based on the understanding that the entire everything is mind maya projected. It has only one purpose of binding us when you give a value. Sometimes it looks like giving sukha, but the final purpose of it is binding. All that you must learn from the Pururava story and Yayata Raja story. Yayati. Both of them lived such a long time, yet they were ultimately bound only. Any amount of life we live in any of the things of the world, all are mind maya projected and created. The final result would be the bondage and disappointment. Therefore, the only way to come out of it is just drop it. You can't drop it, then what to do? Pursue the truth or reality. Automatically it gets stopped. So all that put together is a matured understanding. We'll add to it some more and study the Pranava Upasana mantra with Artha and Bhashya. Sarvam Shri Parabrahma Shrutimatu Charanaravinda Armanavastu. Om 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 पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। One more shloka of Viduraniti we will study. Hari Om. Evening Bhagavatam Upasana is going on and Sri Valmiki Ramayana last Sarga today tomorrow we will see. With that Valmiki Ramayana is over and as announced yesterday for this Shravana Masa or Chaturmasa Diksha हम पूरा अध्यात्म रामायण पे लगाएंगे मन and we'll taste that also. This is what the Lord gave us. The order I am sticking to that. एक बार कर लो जिंदगी में एंड मैं खासकर वाल्मीकि रामायण आध्यात्मिक रामायण हिंदी में इसलिए करता हूँ कि हिंदी वालों को तुलसी रामायण पता है लेकिन ये दोनों ना कोई पढ़ते हैं ना कोई पढ़ाते। यू हैव एवर हर्ड माय डियर नॉर्थ इंडियंस अबाउट वाल्मीकि रामायण? तुलसी का पढ़ते हैं। डू मेनी ऑफ देम इवन द रामायण वाले नहीं जानते हैं कि देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड अध्यात्म रामायण। सो ब्यूटीफुल एंड तुलसी रामायण का ये दोनों ही बेस है। So have a taste of it. And our purpose is not to compete with, compare with, which is what Ramayana. Our purpose is discover Rama and surrender to him and merge in him. श्री राम जी को देखना, उनके चरण में पहुंचना, उनके साथ एक होना. That is our purpose mainly. So those are the classes coming up. Don't leave it. Then we have in our agenda Mahabharatam, at least few parva. Yoga Vasishta, definitely at least one or two prakaranas. All Upanishad without break. I am taking only big texts for my long time commitment and enjoy. Small text, maybe when I become too old, can't talk, तब करेंगे. तेलुगु में तो हो ही रहा है. Okay, this is how those who are with me can together study Shastra. Hari Om.